Hi everyone, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome back to the Potsmaker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the unpublished manuscript, the Potsmaker's Bible, which contains the unpublished manuscript, the Book of Zion, which is a book of prophecy from the Old Testament. It is written entirely in Bible verse, and it is the basis for my countdown to 420, which starts today. Today is April 1st, April Fool's Day in this society. Well, I'm really gonna fool everybody because well, I'm not fooling anyone, but everybody's gonna think I'm a fool, and that's fine with me because I happen to have a little bit of inside info, which I gained from Potsmoker's Bible and the Book of Zion. Because you see, the Potsmoker's Bible is the commentary and dissertation to the Book of Zion, which is the prophecy of Israel, as foretold by the prophets themselves in their own words. And they projected in great detail and with wonderful accuracy the year 2020 and the events that are said to follow, and which logically will do exactly that. Because human nature will lead us down the path of prophecy. And today is going to be my first annual countdown to 420, the second official New Year's of the Zionite people. So in 19 days from now, I will be celebrating the Zionite New Year 420. I'm planning on taking that day off. I'm going to request it today, actually, when I go to work. So I'm going to request off the 20th of this month as the first, uh, no, the second New Year's celebration for me and my people. Because every new nation needs its own holidays. Its day of origin, its first day. And ours is 420. It is the one day of the calendar year that we chose for ourselves. And I believe that it is well, it is totally uniquely a pot smoker's thing, 420. And because it is uniquely our own, it is the day that I have chosen as our new year, our new beginning. And I celebrated it last year by myself, of course, because I was the only one that, realized that it was the New Year's Day for the Zionite Nation. And so I'm asking all of you to join me on 420 to celebrate the Zionite New Year, the one day that we reserve for ourselves to celebrate who we uniquely are. And I just love it. And so everybody who gets high should celebrate 420 as the Zionite New Year, the pot smokers' New Year. Our one day of the year that we start everything and end everything and look towards, and it's our day. And hopefully, one of these fine years, it will be the beginning of the nation of Zion, because it is the day that I have chosen, because it is our day, to begin the strike for freedom that is the 420 Campout. Or, as I say, it's like when we get to Camp Zion. Well, this is where Camp Zion is coming from. It is my dream, my vision of how we get out of this hell that we call America, and how we create for ourselves a better future for ourselves and for our children. This is how we win our freedom. Now, it is, for me personally, it is the enactment of a theory, because I consider myself to be a rather scientific person. And I believe that you should test every theory. If you believe something, put it to the test, because if you don't test it, you don't believe it really. The only way to know if something is true and real is to put the theory to the test. And that's what I'm trying to do. And my first attempt is going to be in 19 days on 420. So I'm asking all of you wonderful people, my rainbow people, from all walks of life, from every corner of the globe, from every mostly poor. I know that you're mostly poor. So if you can't manage to come to me and celebrate it here in York, Nebraska, where I live and work as a regular person, um, then create for yourselves a 420 event. Now, this year, we have to be COVID careful, okay? So if we stage our Campout for Freedom this year in 19 days, we will do so socially distant, with masks, and safely, okay? Because COVID is real. It's part of the prophecy. It is the consumption decreed upon the face of the earth that sends everybody to their homelands and empties the streets where we cast our dead out in silence. That was what happened last year. That was 2020. That was prophecy fulfilled. So take COVID seriously. If you get high, if you're a Zionite, take it seriously because it is serious. It's God's judgment against this evil society. And all those who are stupid enough to ignore the warnings, to ignore God's warnings in the Bible about COVID-19, well, then they're stupid enough to die. But for those of you who want to live, and those of you who want to be free, follow me. Let's go camping. Now, because it's going to take time to make this work right, I'm not suggesting that we do the all-out camp out this year, because that would be unrealistic. And I try to be realistic in what I do. So this year, let's have a pre-run, okay? In our own communities, if you can't manage to come to yours. But we're trying to make a statement. We're trying to create a controversy. We're trying to create a movement. And we want public exposure. And York, Nebraska is the crossroads of America. It's where Interstate 80, that goes from the East Coast to the West Coast, meets up with the Highway of the Americas, which goes from the tip of Alaska, or from Alaska to Chile. It's where everything meets. I'm perfectly positioned to do this. So what I'm suggesting is that we hold a protest here in York, a camp out, where we pitch our tents here in York and the surrounding area, and we protest the war on drugs, police brutality, and corporate takeover of the government of America. Because that is the problem. We protest money and those with money. We gather together to celebrate the Zionite New Year, 420, in a camp out protest here in York, where we just kind of camp out wherever we can pitch a tent. The idea is that if we get enough of us here to stop traffic, to shut down York, to shut down the interstate, to shut down 81, then we've pretty much caused a clusterfuck in the whole United States of America. And if we have enough people to do that, we will have enough people to hold our solemn assembly. So the plan is that we all gather here in York, pitch our tents in the streets, in the parks, in the campgrounds, and in wherever we can. And everybody pitches their tent, socially distanced. Bring your signs, camp out for freedom, strike against corporate America, whatever you want to make your signs be. But we're making a political statement this year. And as we gather together, socially distanced, but having meetings amongst the people who want to create Zion for real. Okay? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up our guild system. We're going to be setting up our community representatives from where you are. Okay? So it's like if if your individual community is aware of Zion and wants to participate, get up the resources necessary to send a contingent. Not everybody in the community that wants to participate, but representatives of that community. And then we will come together and we will imagine as a think tank how we can create the real Camp Out for Freedom next year. Now, this will be a joyous celebration of being Zionite, of being high, of getting high, of doing drugs, of being hippies, of being Zionites. Drug users, show yourselves. Come to me in York, Nebraska, if you can afford it. Let's camp out for freedom. We won't go out west and do our big camp out unless we have at least 10,000 people. If we can get 10,000 people to York, Nebraska on 420 of any given year, then we will have enough people to go out west and hold a solemn assembly and call the gray and bring them to earth, which is my theory. This is my theory. If we follow the steps of the prophecy from this point of 2021, the year following the horrific year of judgment, which was 2020, if we follow the instructions left to us to gather as a people in a camp, following the footsteps of Moses and the Israelites as they exodus from Egypt. So if we create an exodus out west in the panhandle of the state of Nebraska where we have land and sand and water and resources, the basics. We're going to go out there when we have 10,000 people. We go out there, we pitch our tents. This year, if it was possible, we would do 6 feet apart. We would make sure that our tents were spaced for social distancing. And we would plant ourselves, which is what we're going to do in whatever year we do this in. We're going to go out west. We're going to pitch our tents. We're going to plant a garden. We're going to make a storm shelter. We're going to organize ourselves in guilds so that we can organize our labor force and provide for all of the needs that we need to survive. Basic survival. Basic survival first. Food, shelter, the priorities, clothing. Basics. Then we get our infrastructure going. We set up wind turbine generators to create power. We set ourselves up our own Wi-Fi tower so that we can have the internet. And then because we're doing it for ourselves, we don't charge ourselves for anything. Okay? We share our resources together. We create guilds, and the guilds create everything that we need to survive. We do it from the standpoint of we're doing this good, bad, or ugly. We're here to stay until we're free. So Camp Out for Freedom, 420. Join me in York, Nebraska. If there's enough of us, we go out west, we start over. We strike, we walk away from America, and we become the nation of Zion. So, 19 days and counting. 420, here we come. Love you. May the great watch over you, guide you, protect you, keep you from all harm, and teach you from right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it. Make that your guild choice when we get to Zion. Let's get to Zion already. 19 days. The countdown begins. I'm so excited. Later. I'll never say goodbye.